So, as you guys know, I have a lot of denim jackets. I don't really have like a project denim jacket the way I do with jeans. I just wear whichever one kind of takes my fancy on whatever particular day. But this one here, this is a Denim jacket from the Shinzi of the brands. I got it second hand, but it was like new when I got it. But I got it 4 or 5 years ago, which automatically means that it's just seen the most wear out of most of my denim jackets. And that automatically means it's the most grotty. Now in the 5 years I've had this is the one that I chose to travel with most of the time. It's an easy wear, it's a classic, it's a nice like 14-ounce denim, so it's really practical weight. And in all that time, I don't think I washed it. I can't remember washing it even once. And this was the jacket that, like last time I went to Asia, I decided to take this one along with me. Yeah, okay, under the Indonesian sun, it didn't see a lot of use, but when we were off up into the mountains, it was getting a bit cold. On the back of the scooter at night, yep, also saw some wear. And yeah, when we hit Bangkok as well, at that time of year, it was getting kind of cold at night, so I was wearing it then. I also did something when I was in Indonesia that you guys are probably going to judge me for. It's a little bit of fade cheating, but no, it was an experiment. I just wanted to see what was going to happen when I hung a denim anything underneath the sun for a month straight. And it turns out really not very much at all. Now in all that time you would expect it to be kind of stinky, right? Well, actually not at all, because for once I actually followed my own advice, and every time I was in a smoky bar, or in a restaurant, or when I was in some sort of market in Thailand, I would make sure that I'd take it, and I'd actually, well, I'd hang it up outside. And that just really helps to get any of the smells out. What it doesn't do is it doesn't help at all to get actually the dirt out. Oh, and by the way, does anybody want that thing? This thing here? It's a life-size metallic pink dactyl, and it is free to a good home. And if you're not in Berlin, then it's going to cost you postage. But please take it. It's definitely time. In fact, it's definitely past time that this gets a wash. Because I mean, just like your jeans, right? This picks up all the sweat, the dirt, the dust, the grime, the whatever you're coming into contact with on a daily basis just by wearing a garment and living your life. This is getting picked up by the denim. And what's going to happen, just like your jeans, this dirt and this dust and this grime is going to penetrate really deep into the fibers, and it's going to create like a nasty little paste. It's just going to like wear away at the inside of the fiber, and it's going to dramatically cut down the longevity of the denim. So if you want your stuff to last longer, especially your jeans, I find that jackets aren't quite so dramatic with this, but especially your jeans, it's so important that you do wash them now and again. And it's got time for this jacket. I mean, you can just see, I mean, this is the thing that prompted this whole video. The collar here is just looking horrible. I mean, you know what it's like when you wear a white shirt for a couple of days in a row. It gets all yellow and nasty. Can you imagine that multiplied by 5 years? And yeah, I can feel it. It feels slimy almost, and that's really, I don't want that next to my skin. So it needs some water, it needs some soap, and it needs a washing machine. But before I put it in the washing machine, I want to be able to see what it looks like before and after. I want to see what the washing actually does to it. And so with my very mediocre photography skills, I'm going to attempt to do some before and after pictures. Okay, 1 second. Do you guys remember the good old days of the vlog where I used to wear sunglasses all the time? Today I've actually got some justification for that. Right, okay, so I can see immediately that there's a couple of things that have happened. This is even without turning inside out. First thing is we've got a tiny little blowout at the collar here. I have to look at the pictures that I did earlier to see if there's any evidence of that before. The second thing is, so this is a paper patch, and that has started to come away a little bit. So I'm a little bit surprised about that, but that's also cool. Just another like nice fading thing. Okay, so exactly like the jeans, all we have to do is unbutton it. Just made more difficult being wet. Then we're going to flip it the right way out. Going to button the cuffs as well. Going to do the pockets, and I really hope I didn't leave anything in the pockets. Also going to undo the waist adjusters. Basically all I'm doing here is I'm allowing as much air to get to as much of the fabric as possible. Then it gets a good shake out. And yeah, and that's coming off even more. I reckon that certainly won't survive another wash. Then it goes on a hanger and gets hung up. And what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get as much air to as much of the jacket as possible. Just so it gets that circulation, there's not two pieces of fabric like touching each other, which is obviously going to take longer to dry. But under the sun in this weather, it's not going to take very long anyway. If you're doing this inside, just make sure you're doing it in a nicely heated, well ventilated room. So yeah, and now it's just a point of leaving it for as long as it takes to dry. I would say overnight it's going to be fine. So yesterday on the Instagram I posted the recipe for the perfect iced coffee, but the weather gods decided to punish me for my presumption and has sent autumn early. Guys, all of you in Berlin, I'm very, very sorry. It's completely my fault, and I will sacrifice something to try and appease them. Anyway, before autumn did set in, the jacket actually dried, and this overcast weather is actually perfect for taking pictures of denim. Guys, this is why you have to wash your denim. It just makes the fades just pop out. It brings them alive. It brings the denim to life. It's incredible what's happened with this. Okay, where to start? Right, to start off in the negative part. So, where I was most grossed out by was the collar. Because the collar was feeling kind of waxy and horrible and nasty, and it was also turning that kind of like yellow color. So like the white of the core of the yarn was coming through because of the fades, and just like your white shirts, it was getting a bit yellow. Unfortunately, yellow hasn't come out, and that is simply because I waited far too long to wash it, and it just picked up all the sweat and nastiness and grime and things. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is just pretty much inevitable. I mean, you can see on other parts of like the denim where it's faded, okay, that's the most extreme. If I put it like here together, then you can see that this is white and this is this sort of yellowish color. Yeah, as I said, I'm wondering if this is inevitable because unless you're washing pretty much constantly, which I don't recommend doing at all, you are going to pick up a lot of sweat and grime and things because this is like the only part that's really like touching your skin constantly. So just have to accept that. I had a tiny little blowout up here in the collar as well that I didn't notice before putting in the washing machine, but I looked back at the footage and it was there already. It's got a little bit worse, which you will find after you put things through the washing machine. Nothing to concern myself about just now. If these were jeans and this was in the crotch, then yeah, I'd send them off to repair. But since it's a jacket, it's going to be fine for the foreseeable. Okay, so the paper patch. This is a printed paper patch, which is in keeping with the Type 3s of the 1960s, which this is based off. That has, again, I checked the footage before, and that was already starting to come off slightly, and it's just kind of exacerbated the problem. It's totally understandable, totally acceptable. They're meant to do that, or the old ones would always do that. So I'm cool enough with that. The thread has started coming off, like it started unpicking itself, which I'm a bit surprised about, but anyway. On the flip side, on the other side, so where the leather patch would be sort of sewn through on the outside, this is interesting, and this is something I hadn't noticed before, but it's made it much more evident now that for whatever reason the denim on the other side where the leather patch was put on the inside, it hasn't faded as much as the rest of the denim, like over the shoulder yoke, I think it's called, over the shoulder, like the top part here, and I can't really explain why that is. Yeah, this got wet a couple of times, but never really soaking through. Like I said, this is the first wash it's had. I don't know why the patch on the other side has protected this one particular part of the denim, but it's very cool anyway. And yeah, it's going to be, okay, I should probably stop pulling at threads. It's going to be nice to see when that actually, all those threads come off eventually in the future, and you're just going to have this like patch there without anything on the other side. What else? Down the front on the pockets, we have, yeah, it's like across the chest here, that's popped out a little bit here, and you've got this really nice roping thing going on. The pockets themselves, so underneath the flaps, you can see a tiny little bit of a difference between the denim that was covered up and the denim that was exposed, but you saw that before. The waist adjusters here, they've really popped out as well, which I was kind of expecting because I carry a backpack a lot of the time, and the backpack sits directly on top of the waist adjuster, so it gets a lot of wear. They're looking great. Again, when you take it off, yeah, you can see a bit of difference between the denim that's exposed and the denim that's not, and over the next few years, I guess that's going to get much more pronounced. Yeah, across the back waistband here as well, you're seeing a lot more wear because that's just where my backpack sits, and up onto the back here as well. I mean, the cuffs, they see a lot of wear too, so of course that's really popped out as well. They're looking really nice. I'm delighted with that. That's interesting. Like the inside of the button on the cuff is copper and the rest is silver. I don't know. I think it's just the silver plate's worn off a little bit more. Which side is that on? That is the right hand side where I wear my watch, so that kind of makes sense. Right, across the back of the yoke here where I was talking about earlier with the leather patch, if I pop the collar up, and this is probably because it spent so much time under the sun when I was in Asia, yeah, you can see a distinct difference between that denim and this denim here, which is kind of nice, kind of to be expected as well. And it's looking pretty sweet. Yeah, you can see really a big difference between that and that. Yeah, the seam across the back yoke as well. It's got this really nice roping going on, which I think the washing is kind of pronounced. And so that's looking nice and texture going along there. Honeycombs in the arms are, like with all jackets, really not that distinct. Yeah, you can see something going on, but really not very much. I don't know how these guys do it that really have the pronounced honeycombs. I presume they're like just pushing up the sleeves all the time, so it's not really where it bends in the elbow, it's just like where it's sort of sitting and where it's wrinkled up. But I usually I don't really push it up, I like turn the cuffs up a couple of times. I wear denim jackets like shirts quite often actually. The denim, yeah, like all denim, it's got a little bit crispier through the wash, but just when I was taking the pictures there, even like moving it around, throwing it on the floor, like just touching it, softening it up a little bit, you can really tell that the hand has got much more smooth. And what's really nice is that waxy feeling that I had across the collar, it's gone now. So the soap did its job. Buttonholes are all intact. I didn't leave anything in the pockets, thankfully. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to publish those pictures over on the blog. I'll leave a link to that in the description below, so you can head over and see the sort of before and afters there, and we can see if there was like really a strong difference in the before and after pictures. I honestly don't think there was too much of a difference apart from this, just the fades are popping a little bit more and it's cleaner. So yeah, all in all, very happy. There we have it, one nicely washed denim jacket. It's got that advantage that dogs aren't chasing me in the streets anymore. The fades are popping, the denim doesn't feel slimy, doesn't stink. So yeah, guys, why wouldn't you wash your stuff? I forgot to say earlier actually, I hope everyone is happy and healthy out there. I hope you are taking care of yourselves and I hope you're taking care of each other. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was interesting for you. If this is something you're digging, well, denim is what this channel is all about, so there's going to be much more of that. If you liked it and you aren't already, if you could consider subscribing, that'd be great. All the links to our Instagram and our other social media is down in the description below. There is the bell icon, you can hit that so you can get notified every time I drop a video. And guys, take care and I will see you in the next vlog.